So the voluntary acts now make up for the weaknesses in the obligatory. Prophet ﷺ forbade us from repeating an obligatory prayer. This is to protect us. Some people say, why not? If I made my fard prayer and I felt I didn't do a good fard, why can't I do another one? It would appear that we are being denied an opportunity to do it the best way. Why not? Why did the Prophet ﷺ say, no, you did your fajr, that's it, you cannot do it again? To protect us from what? From the whisperings of Satan. From the whisperings of Satan. Because if you didn't have this instruction, you know what would happen? When you do one and it wasn't right, and you say, okay, let me do it again, and it still isn't right, whisperings are coming to you, and you are doing it again and again and again, you will never find yourself doing it. So you will end up just constantly doing this. And you see this happening to people with wudu, for example. You know, waswasa, the whispering, satanic whispering comes on the person when they're making wudu. Oh, did I wash this completely? Did this just blocks? You see them doing wudu over and over and over and over. Some people do so much wudu they can't even find time to do the fard. It becomes a big fitna for them. So to protect us from these kinds of things, you find that the Prophet ﷺ gave us certain instructions to stop this from Satan messing up our worship. Similarly in prayer, right? Prophet ﷺ said, you know, if you get this sensation, gurgling in your stomach, whatever, and you got the sensation, maybe you passed wind, you know, when you're in ruku especially. What do? He said, well, if you don't smell anything, you didn't hear anything, assume that you haven't broken your wudu and carry on. If you didn't smell anything or hear anything, assume you didn't break it, carry on. Because there is among the evil jinn one belonging to the class he called khinzib, who comes to you when you're in your prayer, when you bend over, and blows on your behind to give you a feeling like you just passed wind, to just mess up your prayer for you. So ignore it and carry on. Now, some people have mistakenly thought that this means, you take this in a general sense. They ask me, say, what if when you're sitting for tashahhud, you're about to finish your prayer, and you pass wind? You pass wind. You know you pass wind, but you didn't smell anything, and you didn't hear it, didn't make a sound. Can you just finish off your prayer? No. If you know you have passed wind, that's it. Even if you're saying salah up, that's it. You have to go and do your prayer all over again. As long as it happens before you complete your taslims, the prayer is invalidated. You have to leave, go back and make wudu, and do it over again. This is the point, right? So don't misunderstand, you know, this. And there is a weak hadith actually too that states that if you break your wind in that last sitting, that you can finish your prayer, but it's not authentic, right?
You break the line and square.
Yes, you break the line. And I know some people say, what's here in the front line of the prayer? You know, you've passed wind. For you to be walking all the way through everybody, what you going to do? Leave. You can't sit there. You know, out of embarrassment, people keep praying, you know, afterwards, nobody knows, you go back and wudu and you come back and pray. No, that's not acceptable either. You have to get out of there right there, because otherwise, what you're doing is sacrilege. You are praying without wudu, and the Prophet ﷺ said, La salata liman la wudu ala. The salah of one without wudu is unacceptable. So for you to be standing there praying when you don't have wudu, no. Prophet ﷺ said, if you're embarrassed, then put your hand over your nose as if, right, you had something like your nose bleed or whatever, and you leave the prayer, so people see you, they don't know what actually happened. You can cover yourself that way. He gave you that. But don't stay in the line and continue the prayer. Get out. Even if you're the imam. This is the point. Even if you're the imam, you got to get up and leave. And if the imam gets up and leaves, then somebody from the front line steps forward and completes the prayer. That's what happens.
What if that happens when the imam is in sajda? So
when he's in sajda, he gets up and he leaves. Some imams, they may leave and they may tap the person behind them to let them know, so they got an idea. Or if you just find yourself in sujood and it seems to be long, you are allowed to look up and see what's going on. And if you don't see any imam there, then you get up, you go and you lead the prayer. You get up there and say Allahu Akbar and sit up and finish the prayer.